Thank you for watching The Abundant Life today. I am very happy that you have joined me again for the School of Me series. I hope you got the chance to think about the concept of studying you and have started to create time to do your self-study. In this video, I will be sharing lesson number 3, how to do an effective self-study and the challenges that comes with it. You do not want to miss this. Remember to subscribe, comment. Also, let me know if there's a topic that you would like me to cover. Do not move. I will be right back. So the third lesson I learned was that self-study is hard. It is very hard. I'm going to be real here. This process takes time and it can be very scary because there are things in our lives and personalities that are very hard to face because it brings up painful feelings and can sometimes make us see that we are imperfect and blemished. However, we cannot accomplish healing and happiness if we do not face our imperfections. I want to repeat that for you. We cannot accomplish healing and happiness if we do not face our imperfections. Even though it might be difficult at first, in the end, you will be happier. I have some rose bushes in my yard and they were not blooming much. So my mom told me to prune it, to literally cut off most of the dead branches. This was very hard for me because I felt that it would harm the tree. However, as hard as it was, I cut them off. They looked so bare. I felt horrible. But let me tell you something. My rose bushes bloomed so beautifully in the spring. I was amazed at how bountiful they were. They bloomed in abundance. It was a beautiful sight. This happened because of the pruning. We have to get rid of things that are killing us, the people that are draining us, the things in our characters, thought process that we hold on to. All the areas of our lives that are causing us not to flourish and bloom. It will feel uncomfortable at first, and sometimes it will be painful. But in the end, you will bloom like you never bloomed before. If you're struggling with this process of self-assessment because of particular circumstances, could be a very difficult trauma history or some very difficult parts of ourselves that is just hard for you to face, it's overwhelming. That's okay. Don't feel bad about that. I want you to consider talking to a therapist to get support. As a therapist myself, I have helped a lot of people to go through their pruning process. I've held their hands, we cried together, and I've watched them overcome so much to begin blooming in their lives. So get support from a therapist. You do not have to do it alone. Walking away from your happiness should never ever be an option. Let me repeat that. Walking away from your happiness should never be an option. So how do we take inventory of our lives? How do we begin a self-study? Here are a few suggestions. Have categories. Here are some examples. Have a self-category. Ask yourself, what are the things that are important to you? Values, likes, dislikes? Have you been honoring those needs in your life? If not, why? How are you feeling? Happy, sad? Why? What needs to be done to get to the place you need to be? Are there issues with your past that impact your present life negatively? Can they be resolved? Family can be a category. Are you honoring the role you want to play in your family? How is your family responding to you? Are things going the way you want them to be? Family can also have subcategories to include spouse or significant other, children, extended family. Career can be another category. Are you fulfilled in your career? If not, why? Is there room for growth? Can you create a plan and set goals to achieve the goals that you want to achieve? Friends can be a category. Are your relationships healthy? Have you been investing in them? Spirituality can be a category. How is your relationship with God if you're a Christian? What can be improved or what needs to be maintained? Are you prioritizing the most important things in your life? You know, I always say to my patients, you cannot drive 3 cars at the same time. And I would say, picture it. Just picture driving 3 cars at the same time. You drive one, you have to jump out and drive the other. Then you jump out and drive, you go back in the other. It's just crazy making, right? We have to prioritize the important things in our lives. And that means that there are some things you will not put at the top of your list. They simply have to wait in a parking lot because they are not your priority at that very moment. I hope you're starting to get an idea of how to do a self-assessment. Taking inventory really involves asking ourselves some very critical questions that we need to have answers for. Because if we cannot answer them, we end up in places we do not want to be, with people we do not want to be with, and situations we do not want to be in. I know you know what I'm talking about. Knowing our likes and dislikes, things that makes us happy, things that make us unhappy, people that bring out the best in us and make us feel good, people that make us feel uncomfortable with ourselves, how much work we can do, how many things you can manage, what is your passion, environments that deplete you, or environments where you bloom. It is important to know the answer to most of them. However, I'm going to ask you not to rush this process because it takes time. And it is actually a lifelong process. This is something you do intermittently in your life. You can have set times like once every 2 months or once every 3 months. I try to do this at least once a quarter just to assess where I am and, what goals I've set, whether or not I am honoring the things that are important to me. I just stop every 3 months just to check in with myself. However you get to this place where you take time to self-study, it doesn't matter. Just get there. It is very important. It will enrich your life. You can also utilize personality tests. They can be very helpful if you're struggling with identifying your values or your interests. What they do, they ask you questions and they give you statements and then you respond. At the end, it will kind of give you a sense of where you are and who you are as a person. So if you're struggling with figuring out those things, utilize personality tests. They can be helpful. So I want you to start studying you. Start enjoying you. Start enjoying the process of getting to know you. You are a priority. You are very much worth it. So stay tuned for my next video on paying attention to and utilizing the lessons we learn. I hope you found this information helpful, and I hope you begin the journey of discovering you. Remember to subscribe and click the bell, share and leave a comment. See you soon.